Hi, I'm Jochen Schlese from Schlese Saddlery Service. Today I'd like to talk to you about the 9 points of saddle fitting for the Western saddle. My passion is to protect horse and rider from long-term damage. I see a lot of people out there to fit their horses but unintentionally hurt the horses. My focus is doing research on horses' back with experts around the world with biomechanics for horse and rider, as well as a lot of scientific research. I want to simplify it with the 9 points of saddle fit for the Western saddle. So please join me and let's go through the step one by one. So before we get going and go into the individual 9 points of saddle fitting, I'd like to draw your attention to the horse's back. I have drawn a figure here what humans use since 4,500 years and figured out where the horse can carry the most weight for a long period. I like to also point out the modern technology, what our grandfathers knew, what areas is extremely sensitive to the horse. The flank area is where absolutely no pressure should be. Now the difference between pressure and contact I will go into a little bit later through the individual stops. Between each vertebrae there are nerves and veins coming out, and we don't want to hit those nerves. So the channel is very important, which we address later on as well. Probably the worst area for the horse to experience any kind of pressure is in this triangle right through here. We don't want any pressure in this area. I'm going to go more in detail when we talk about the tree width and the tree angle. So the next area, what is very important, is this point right here. Very important for endurance riders or long distance riders. This is the MP13, the lung meridian point. If the saddle pressures there too much, the horse will not use the full breathing, and as a competitive rider, as a trail rider, as a hobby rider, that's not what I want to do to my horse. Same stuff your ears are made of, cartilage. It's a huge blob of cartilage on top of every horse's shoulder blade, and that is something we do not want to damage. So you see there's a lot of red, but you also see there's an area right here. That's the area where we're going to focus when we go through the 9 points of saddle fit. In this section I would like to talk to you about the straightness of your saddle. It is absolutely important that you check your saddle if your saddle sits straight on the horse's back. We talked earlier about the channel width. Why is it so important to stay off the spine? If you have a saddle and you have a nice channel width, but the saddle sits diagonal or falls one side or the other, it causes a lot of pain on the spine and then in the lumbar area and the SI joints. So what I like you to think about is that the horse, just like humans, are not 100% symmetric. Furthermore, the horse has no collarbone. Your Western saddle, the front part of your bars and the skirts, sitting on top, no pressure, but sitting in this area. And then the main weight-bearing surface sits in this area. You can see this particular horse is bigger on his right shoulder. Very good giveaway is which side does the horse's mane fall. The muscular area where that saddle sits, not so extreme. Some horses are a little different than others. And on some saddles it really doesn't show up. On other saddles you can sometimes how extreme the cantle falls to one side or the other. Let me demonstrate. Once you place your saddle on the right spot, check where the shoulder is. Wiggle the saddle into the spot. Make sure that your horse stands square. And if you trust your horse, stand behind your horse and you want to see. And sometimes you can see right away how the horn falls to one or the other side. If you don't have a horn on your Western saddle, look on the Cheyenne roll if the saddle falls to the left or to the right, or actually stands in the center. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you find these tips very helpful. This is my calling, my passion. I like to protect horses and riders from long-term damage. Everything I showed you here, if it's your own horse, if it's your Olympic horse, if it's your pleasure horse, you will see he will be thanking you by you knowing more where the saddle can and should not sit. Thank you very much.